Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me there at the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Judge Christy Ruppe, and you are all here this morning for first appearance. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of the charges against you and determine whether there is probable cause for your arrest. Probable cause only means that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime in which you've been arrested for. As you appear before me this morning, you are considered not guilty of what you've been charged with, and that status will remain with you through each stage of these proceedings up until changed by you if you plea out to your case, or the state attorney's office if they prove the case against you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In all likelihood, you are arrested on a warrant or a new charge. Either way, you are given a bond pursuant to the bond schedule for the 5th Judicial Circuit. I will determine this morning whether to keep that bond the same, increase it, decrease it, or whether there are any other conditions of pre-trial release which will be imposed upon you. You are entitled to have an attorney represent you at each stage of these proceedings. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, I will appoint the public defender's office for you this morning. You are also entitled to make a phone call to let friends, family, or counsel know where you are. If you haven't had the opportunity to make that phone call yet, please let me know. I'll make sure you get that phone call this morning. You also have the right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. These hearings are recorded, and there is an assistant state attorney in this courtroom writing down everything that you say. So anything you say about the facts of your case can and will be held against you in the prosecution of your case down the road. At this time, I'd like everyone to raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. Swear from testimony before the court will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Okay, go ahead and put your hands down as I call your name. Please come forward to the podium. Wendell Thomas. Mr. Thomas, can I have your date of birth, please?
12/9/66.
You're here this morning for possession of drug paraphernalia and knowingly driving while your driver's license is suspended or revoked. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Would you like me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you?
Yeah.
Appoint the public defender's office. State, does he have a prior record?
Yes, Your Honor. In Florida, he has a total of 12 felony convictions, 9 misdemeanor convictions, including an FTA guilty in 2016, possession of controlled substance in 2015, battery in 2015, and a fray and a tag charge earlier than that. He also has an out-of-state history in Georgia, driving license suspended in 2010, DUI in 2010, and a handful of batteries in 2008 and 2003.
Okay, sir, I have an address for you. It says you live in Pasco County. You live in Pasco County?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have an address there?
No, ma'am.
Okay. How long have you lived in Pasco County?
All my life.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Tree work.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and set your bond on count number 1 at $2,000. Count number 2, we're going to keep it $5,000. We're going to see you back to court on April 23rd, okay? Pamela Roddenberry? Hey, ma'am, can I have your date of birth?
8/20/75.
Okay. All right, you are here this morning for a violation of probation. There's no bond on that at this time. However, it does appear that the recommendation from probation is 20 days jail. Did you want to go ahead and take care of that case today? You take the 20 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand that by admitting that you violated your probation, you're giving up right to have a hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up right to call witnesses at that hearing and confront the witnesses against you at that hearing, and you're giving up right to have the state prove that you violated your probation. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you admit that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Accept your admission, offense freely and voluntarily given. Revoke and terminate your probation, adjudicate you guilty, send you to 20 days for Hernando County Jail. I'll give you days credit for the 2 days that you have in. You're going to have $50 cost of prosecution on that case as well as the cost of incarceration. You want to make a payment plan for that when you get out. Come down to the clerk's office to make payments on that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Tanya Stone. Stone, can I have your date of birth?
3/11/71.
You are here today for a retail theft. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Twins Public Defender's Office to represent you. State that you have a prior record.
Yes, Your Honor. Guilty for grand theft in 2015 and there's a solicitation withhold in 2013. That's everything.
Ma'am, I have an address for you. It says that you live between Hernando and Pasco counties. Is that correct?
True.
Sure.
Yes.
You have a job?
No.
All right, I'm going to set your bond at $2,500. We're going to see you back to court on April 18th, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is Gina? Gina Loriano? All right, are we here? Is she represented by you, Mr. Bauer?
Judge, I don't
She's an
know.
add-on.
We just added on.
It's 2018 MM819.
And I don't know what happened in her felony. She does have 59 days credit time. So
Is she represented by you?
I don't know, Judge. I can look and see.
But you didn't add her on the docket?
I didn't add her. That's
Okay.
why I'm a little bit.
What is your impression of why you're here this morning?
Because I plead out in Joiner's courtroom for 24 months, drug offender probation, and I was going to come here to plea out to the
Violation of
release
pretrial
violations.
She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 counts of violation of pretrial release. Is there an offer from the state on those cases?
Given her felony disposition, we can time serve her, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, you want to take care of that today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, were you here when I placed everyone under oath?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you raise your right hand when I placed everyone under oath? Do you understand by taking a plea on these cases today that you were giving up right to go to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your own behalf, and you're giving up your right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
With regard to the 7 counts of violation of pretrial release, how do you plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I accept your plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty. I don't know how much time.
59 days.
59. Sentence you to 59 days from Hernando County Jail, 59 days credit for time served. You're going to have fines and court costs you got to pay on these cases. It's going to be about $1,100, Jay, is that right?
And Your Honor, is it 7 counts or 5?
I have 7, unless you guys dismissed a couple, I don't know. Do you have 5?
My notes have 5. And I'll make sure that's correct.
I love when I'm right. All right, so fines and court costs are about $1,100. When you are out of custody, you want to make your way down to the clerk of court, make payment arrangements for all of those things, okay? I'm not going to order the cost of incarceration because she's got the felony case, so that should do it for today, okay?
Thank you.
All right, got to get fingerprinted, I think.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Just fingerprint. Okay. Randy, Kate.
Your Honor, may the interpreter make an announcement?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Buenos días. ¿Hay alguien que necesita intérprete? ¿Alguien necesita intérprete?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, Ms. Payton, can I have your date of birth?
2/13/67.
Okay, you were here today for a grand theft. The bond is currently $5,000 per the warrant. It's out of Pasco County. So I did find probable cause for your arrest. We're going to keep the bond the same at $5,000. If you do bond out of that, you want to head on down to Pasco County and find out when you can get a court date. If you're unable to bond out on that, Pasco County will come get you within the next 5 days. Take you down there and figure out what's going on with your case when you get there. When you get down there, you can ask for a court date and a public defender, okay? If they don't
So
come
they
get
have
you
no
within the
idea
next...
what this is.
I'm sorry?
They have no idea what this is. I just got out of prison, so I don't understand.
Okay. Well, it looks like a pending charge of a grand theft. It's a 2018 case, so It's fairly recent, but that's all the information I have. So you're going to have to go down
I was
to
in
Pasco
prison
County.
though.
Okay, well, I don't have jurisdiction over your case. All I have jurisdiction over is your arrest and your first appearance here this morning. So they're going to take you down to Pasco County and figure out what's going on, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Jeremy Franklin?
Right.
Sleeping.
Sleeping, so.
Mr. Franklin?
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
All right. Hey, how you doing?
Okay. You awake?
That's a little, yes.
Yeah. What's your date of birth?
February 9th, 1985.
You were here this morning for a domestic battery, assault on law enforcement officer, a standard battery, resisting with violence, and a resisting without violence. I did find probable cause for each of those. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office, Steve?
Yes, Hernando, there was a failure to appear in 2018, and there's a criminal mischief withhold in 2014.
Is there a pending, is the 2018 case open?
It looks to me like there was a VOP maybe on the criminal mischief, and then a subsequent FTA on that.
Okay. Sir, I have an address for you on Radford Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
A year.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for a contractor for the utility companies. We do work for all the power companies.
Okay. Okay, on the domestic battery, I'm going to set your bond at $2,000. On the assault on law enforcement officer, I'm going to keep it at $1,000. For the other battery, I'm going to set it at $2,000. For the resisting with violence, I'm going to keep that at $1,000. Resisting without violence, I'm going to keep that at $500. I'm going to order that you have no contact with Robert Lindsay in this case. Do not have any contact with him whatsoever. Do not call, do not write, do not email. And I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case Mr. Lindsay wants to file an injunction against you. I also have you here this morning for possession of methamphetamine and possession of controlled substance. I did find probable cause for your arrest on each of those. Bonds on those are $2,000 each. I'm going to keep those at $2,000. We're going to see you back on these cases on April 23rd, okay? I've appointed the public defender in all cases. John Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner, can I have your date of birth?
January 26, 1930.
Okay. You don't have to get so close to the mic, okay? It makes it hard to hear. All right. You were here today for a violation of an injunction for domestic violence. Currently, there's no bond on that because it is domestic in nature. I have an address here on Rachel Boulevard in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, but then I changed my address yesterday to
You did? Okay.
to 7128A Barclay Avenue.
Okay. We'll make a note of that. That's in Spring Hill, right?
In Brooksville.
It's in Brooksville? Okay. Okay. Well, I do not find probable cause for your arrest based on how the probable cause affidavit is written. It doesn't give me any information on how you violated the domestic violence injunction. It just appears that you were in some place where she was, but there's nothing in here that tells me what the injunction allows for or doesn't allow for because of the way it's written up. That doesn't mean that the state attorney is not going to prosecute you for this case. They will indeed prosecute you. It's just they didn't give me the information that I need this morning to find probable cause for your arrest. So I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, and I'm going to see you back to court on April 18th at 9 a.m., okay?
Thank you.
And the injunction is still in place, sir, okay?
Yes.
All right. Michael Gregg? Michael Gregg.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is your date of birth?
11/26/71.
Okay, you were here today for a retail theft. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
If I could get public defender, that would be great.
I will appoint the public defender's office. State to see the prior record.
Yes, Your Honor, there was excuse me, a guilty for no valid license, leaving the scene of an accident, and DUI in 2005. That's everything.
Okay. Mr. Gregg, I have an address for you in Brooksville. I'm showing that you live in Brooksville. You don't actually have an address, right?
Not currently, ma'am.
Okay. How long have you lived in Brooksville?
About a month and a half.
Where'd you live before that?
Citrus County.
Okay. All right, the current bond amount is $500. I'm going to keep it at $500, and we're going to see you back to court on April 18th. I have appointed the public defender, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Stephen Hayden? Sorry, Jeff. Mr. Hayden, can I have your date of birth?
10/11/69.
Okay, you are here today for an aggravated assault. The bond is currently $2,000. Possession of methamphetamine, the bond is currently $2,000. And possession of marijuana, the bond is currently $1,000. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State.
Guilty for possession of paraphernalia, possession of controlled substance in 2016, guilty of possession of meth, felony driving license suspended in 2015, guilty of possession of oxycodone, and another dwellers in 2012, guilty of retail theft in 2010, DUI in 2007, guilty of fleeing to elude, leaving the scene of an accident, and another DUI in 2003. I believe he went to prison for the felony DUI.
Okay. All right, I have an address for you in Spring Hill. Is that where you're living right now?
Yes.
Okay, you don't actually have a street address, right? You're just...
Right.
Okay. How long have you been living in Spring Hill?
For over 20 years.
Okay, I'm going to set the bond account number 1 at $4,000, account number 2 at $4,000, account number 3 at $2,000. I'm going to order that you have no contact with John Kraling. Don't have any contact with him whatsoever, okay? I'm going to see you back to court on April 23rd. Someone from the public defender's office will be able to see you shortly. Devin Kodak. Mr. Kodak, can I have your date of birth?
2/4/1983.
Okay, you are here today for a trespass. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Can we do a time serve? State okay with that?
One over, Your Honor. That's fine.
Okay. Mr. Kodak, if you want to resolve your case today, we'll go ahead and give you time served for the 2 days that you have in Hernando County Jail. You want to resolve it today?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand by taking a plea on this case today, you're giving up your right to go to trial?
Yes.
Giving up your right to confront the witnesses against you, call witnesses on your behalf, and you're giving up your right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
With regard to this trespass charge, how do you plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I accept your plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, send you to 2 days Hernando County Jail, 2 days credit for time served. I'll just do the 2 days noted so he doesn't get the cost of incarceration. And you're going to have $503 assessed against you down here at the clerk's office, okay? But that should clear up your case today.
Okay.
Christopher McCannon. Can I have your date of birth, please?
1/1/85.
Okay, you were here this morning for a retail theft. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State the prior record.
Guilty of grand theft in 2016. There's a failure to appear in 2016. Guilty of escape in 2013. Another escape. No disposition in 2012. Guilty of attempting to obtain a controlled substance in 2011. Guilty of hindering a firefighter in 2010. Guilty of trafficking controlled substances in 2010. Guilty of retail theft in 2009. burglary of a dwelling, guilty in 2006, burglary of conveyance, guilty in 2006, and a retail theft in 2005, and a grand theft in 2005.
Okay. Sure, I have an address here on Helen K. Drive in Shady Hills. Is that where you live?
Actually, I live on Glen Rock,
Okay, what's the address?
16701 Glen Rock
Where's that?
Drive, Spring Hill.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
For a couple months.
How long have you lived in Hernando County?
Lived in Hernando County for about 10 years, ma'am.
Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Landscaping.
Okay, I'm going to set your bond at $5,000, and we're going to see you back to court on April 18th, okay?
Ma'am, is there any way I can resolve this today?
Is there an offer for him to resolve it today?
10 months in the Hernando County Jail.
Sure. If you want to take the 10 months, you can resolve your case today.
No, I'll wait.
Paul Shea? Mr. Shea, can I have your date of birth?
42983.
You were here this morning for retail theft, possession of methamphetamine, possession of controlled substance, possession of a drug with intent to sell, resisting without violence, providing false name to a law enforcement officer, and a violation of probation. I did find probable cause for your arrest on all these. Did you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm going to keep the bonds the same on all the new charges. The retail theft is $1,000, possession of methamphetamine is $2,000, possession of controlled substance is $2,000, possession of drug with intent to sell $500, resisting officer without violence is $1,000, providing false name to law enforcement officers is $1,000. On the violation of probation, there's no bond. I'm going to keep it no bond. I'm going to appoint. Do you want me to appoint the public defender in all of your cases?
Yeah.
Do you want the public defender? Yes.
Yeah.
Appoint the public defender in each of your cases. You also have there's actually 2 violations of probation, so appoint the public defender in each of those. Keep all of those at no bond. We'll see you back to court. 2 different cases. Yes.
Why I have 2 violations of probation?
I don't know why there's 2 of them here.
Should only be 1.
It might be 2 charges.
It's listed the same case number on both.
Okay, I don't know why I have 2 page 3s, but there's no bond on your violation of probation. We're going to see you back to court in all of your cases on April 23rd, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Richard Schneider? Jay, there might be an extra page. Can I have your date of birth?
September 5th, 1967.
Okay, you were here today for a violation of probation. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Did you want to represent yourself? You want to hire somebody? Or you want the public defender's office?
Always defenders, I guess.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You also have a resisting an officer without violence. I found probable cause for your arrest on that as well. I'll appoint the public defender's office. I'm going to keep the bond amount at $500 on that. You have a court date for April 18th. And then with regard to the violation of probation, I'll appoint the public defender's office. Keep that at no bond, and we'll see you back on April 23rd.
What are they recommending for the violation?
It's, I don't have a recommendation at this time, and I don't have jurisdiction over this case. You're going to have to go to Judge Toner's courtroom and talk about it with him. Brian Smith? Mr. Smith, can I have your date of birth?
8275.
All right, you were here this morning for a violation of probation at Citrus County. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Citrus County has no bond on that warrant. I'm going to keep you held no bond. And when you get to Citrus County, you can ask for an attorney and a court date. Citrus County usually come pick you up within the next 5 days and take you there, okay? If they don't come get you within the next 5 days, the folks there at the jail will bring you back in front of me and we'll figure out what the holdup is, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Did I get everyone in custody?
Yes, we got everyone for first, and then we just have the 4 add-ons.
Okay. I don't know what I have add-ons that are in custody and out of custody. I don't know who is who.
There should be 4 that are We've already done this, Brianna. Everybody else.
Is there Robert Capehart there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Capehart, Langley, Vincent, and Davis are the ones that we still have for the add-ons.
Okay. You represent Robert Capehart?
Yes, we do.
Okay, what's going on? All I have is just an add-on. I don't know what it's for.
That's fine. The reason we added him on is he violated with a positive drug screen. I've spoken to his state probation, and everybody's okay with him being reinstated. He has employment, so he didn't want him to lose his job. So
Okay.
sent all that to your office.
So he was placed on probation here,
For
it's
DUI.
a CT case for DUI,
Yes, ma'am.
and then he got a positive screen, and now we're just reinstating him.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
With him, with the understanding that he would restart all of his substance abuse counseling and classes, and then there would be a special condition that he is subject to random drug screen, alcohol, and substance abuse, which I believe is probably a condition of probation anyway. But sometimes if they don't say it specifically, they don't do it.
So do we do? Go ahead.
What happened was he came in. We do both alcohol and drug screens, and we did a alcohol and drug screen, and he tested positive. And he went down. I think he went someplace else and got done, and he tested positive. His thought was we only should be doing alcohol. When you come in, we can do both.
Right.
And
Okay.
that's the understanding he needs to understand. He needs to report for his random drug screens, which he wasn't doing, and get back into his program, and we need to have proof of that.
Yes.
That he's back enrolled into the substance abuse.
Okay, so are we reinstating with modification?
I believe the only
It's the
specific
same.
modification
It's the same.
It's the same for it's basically reinstatement in that, Robert, you're going to have to basically start your substance abuse counseling over because I'm pretty sure you got thrown out to the positive drug screen, so you're going to have to start over, okay?
Yeah, I was already reinstated in the counseling, and he picked me up where I left off, and I already took 3 days.
Okay.
Okay, so for today's purposes, 2017 CT 2547, we are reinstating him back into probation to complete all the conditions that were previously ordered.
Yes.
Okay. Do we need to say anything else? Does that do it?
No.
That's
Okay,
it.
thank
He
you.
needs to report.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I guess, do you want him to report?
When do we want him to go?
Today?
Today?
By tomorrow, by 5, just in case he doesn't get out today.
Okay, Robert, you need to go to probation by tomorrow at 5 o'clock, okay?
Before 5.
You got it.
Before 5 tomorrow.
All right, I'll be there.
All right.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Judge. Thank you for letting me have it.
Kyle Langley?
It's a change of plea, Your Honor. He got 16 months on his felony. He has 25 days. Has 25 days.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Mr. Langley's 2018 MM 840. What is his charge?
It's a false name
False
and
name.
resisting without violence.
Okay. Sir, you want to resolve your cases today? They're offering time served for the 25 days that you have in on these.
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing a 16-month prison bid right now too, so that'll be fine.
All right. You understand by taking a plea on this case today that you're giving up your right to go to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up your right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your behalf, and you're giving up your right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With regard to this false name, was it a false name and a resisting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, false name to law enforcement and resisting arrest without violence in 2018, MM 840. How do you plead? Complete no contest.
No contest.
I accept your plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty. Send you 25 days for Hernando County Jail, 25 days credit for time served. You're going to have fines and court costs of about $600. In that case, you want to make your way down to the clerk of court. When you do get out, make payment arrangements for those things, okay? There's also going to be the public defender fee and the cost of incarceration assessed against you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
All
you.
right, Jason Davis.
Judge, he was sentenced to 24 months probation, looks like, in his felony case. He only has 6 days in on this. What's the charges?
I believe there's 2 counts of violation of pretrial release condition.
Okay, so what is there a negotiated disposition?
If he's pled to his felonies, we can time serve him.
Time served here?
That's
Okay.
fine.
All right, Mr. Davis, you want to resolve your case today? If you want to resolve your case today, the state is offering 6 days credit for the time that you have in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You understand that that means that you're giving up your right to go to trial,
Yes, ma'am.
giving up your right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your own behalf, and you're giving up your right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those
Yes.
rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With regard to the violation of pretrial release charges in 2018 MM 1070, how do you plead? Complete no contest.
No contest.
Accept the plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty. Sentence you to 6 days for Hernando County Jail. 6 days credit for time served. You're going to have fines and court costs. The public defender fee and the cost of incarceration assessed against you in this case, okay? Unless it was assessed in the felony case, which I don't know. It might have been, right?
I would think that it would be.
Okay. All right. So we won't order it in this case. Just the PD fee. All right. Did we get everyone at the jail now?
So, Brian Vincent.
So Brian Vincent. Okay, Brian Vincent.
He just got sentenced to a 3-year min-man, Judge, and he's here, I believe, on 16 MM 3822. He has 47 days.
What is the charge on that?
Second degree petty theft. Second degree misdemeanor petty theft.
Is it a violation of probation? 2016.
I think it might be. I think it is about.
My notes don't have it as a Bob, Your Honor.
You don't have much about the.
Like a new case, doesn't look like a violation of probation. They must have FCA'd at one point. Okay. All right, Mr. Vincent, you want to resolve your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the offer? What was the
He's got 47 days.
47? Okay. All right, the 47 days, Hernando County Jail. Credit for the 47 days that you have in, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you understand that means that you're giving up right to go to trial?
Yes.
Giving up right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your behalf, and you're giving up right to have the state prove the case against you. You want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, with regard to this petty theft charge, how do you plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
Accept your plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. I adjudicate you guilty. Sentence you to 47 days for Hernando County Jail. Give you credit for the 47 days that you have in. You'll have fines and court costs and $620. And you've probably got the cost of incarceration in the
He
felony.
would have.
Okay. All right. So you just have the fines and court costs of $620 and the public defender fee assessed against you. Okay.
And Your Honor, $0 in restitution.
And there's no restitution on that case. All right. Thank you, sir.
I'm still showing Chris Cohn.
Is there a Christopher Cohen there?
I think he's out of custody.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did I get everybody?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.